Hello. The radiation from the sun illuminates a world in which stuff has happened. So what's up? Okay, but dogs though, specifically golden retrievers. It's the 155th anniversary of the golden retriever, the breed itself. They were made in Scotland, apparently. I didn't know that. And so there's like a massive gathering of like a bunch of Goldens in Scotland right now. Like hundreds of them, just sort of lolling around in a field being goobers. I have linked a video in the newsletter for today. I highly encourage you to watch it. Apparently they were bred to be hunting dogs that were specifically fit to be in the Scottish Highlands climate. And for some reason that means they have to have a very good floopy tail. Okay. Dear viewer, hold on to that thought. Just keep the idea of a bunch of golden retrievers rolling around in a field in your head for the rest of this episode, because we have to talk about Texas. Texas has absolutely no chill. Right now, quite literally. But I'm not here to talk about heat waves, I'm here to talk about fascists. Texas is one of those states that's like really trying to be at the forefront of the fascists, and they've been really hard with this anti-abortion bullshit. So despite the vast majority of Americans being against a total abortion ban, Texas is still pushing to try to do that. And now just stories are racking up of women having to carry unviable pregnancies to term only to be traumatized or potentially killed by them. Doctors don't know if they can perform a surgery or not because they might get sued or sent to jail or fined $100,000+ for doing medicine. And so now women and rights groups and doctors are coming together and demanding from Texas, fix your shit. There's a massive lack of clarity around the laws that they currently have on the books there, because they're just trying to do whatever they can to just stop it from happening, period. But that doesn't work, and we understand that it doesn't work. But they don't care, because they're fascists and just want to abuse women. And so yeah, there has been a request to a judge to stop these laws so that we can figure out what the fuck we're supposed to do about them. Like, how do we make sure that our citizens aren't dying from extremely preventable things? Jesus Christ. Greg Abbott can eat actual shit. Like there's very little left to say. Like fuck him. I'm getting very tired of talking about fascists in power who cannot reach climax unless they're using their laws to abuse citizens. But hey, good union stuff. Let's talk about that. So while the writers are on strike and the actors are now striking and UPS might strike and there was the union that was formed at Sega and a whole bunch of other unions coming together. Very, very cool. And now Warner Bros. And Cartoon Network employees are possibly forming a union. They have filed a petition to do a vote, and hopefully it'll happen. It's kind of like the Sega union. It's like an interdisciplinary union of just everyone. People across all types of jobs at these companies are all upset with them. It's not one job, it's all of them. Maybe treat your employees better. Wild concept. Hey, what's up? You want to talk about something? You want to talk about the Federal Reserve and their new instant money transfer program? Oh yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah, the Federal Reserve is launching an instant money transfer program. This is a big deal and way, way overdue. So in the US, we are bad at everything. Other countries have had instant money transfer available at any time of the day, any day of the year for a while. And now that's coming to the US via a thing called FedNow. It is a service run by the Fed that allows banks to transfer money instantly at any time. Think about like a wire transfer and how it takes like multiple days. It's just gonna be like, boop. Boop, you've got money. All that shit about like, oh, your funds will be settled in your account in 2 to 3 business days. Gone. That's going away, hopefully. So that's cool and way overdue. But hey, dear YouTube and podcast viewers and listeners, allow me to expand on this topic in a tangent alert. Tangent alert. I used to work for a financial technology company. They refer to themselves as fintech because they're very cool. I'm proud of the work I did there. I think it was helpful to like help people like democratize moving money around. That's cool. That's helpful and all that. It also shouldn't need to exist. There's a whole bunch of companies out there whose entire business model is we're going to try to simplify moving money around because there is no good method for people to just instantly transfer money safely. And so their product is we're going to make it easier to move money and we get a cut every time you move money. Think like PayPal. That's not who I work for, but stuff like that. Now, all these companies would have their own way of doing things. A lot of them would just spend a lot of time doing the grunt work nobody would want to do. Some of them would just have a big pool of money that they just kind of had in one big account and moved it around and just allocated it to make instant transfers. And then you've got like PayPal, which is literally a bank. Now, like, yay, competition in this space is good, except it's also not really good because they're all trying to solve the same problem, which is a problem that shouldn't exist in the first place, and all of their solutions are not good for the consumer. If you have money that you want to move for some purpose, you shouldn't have to pay money to move it. You should be able to move it. It shouldn't require a third party to come in and be like, we're going to take a cut to make it slightly less hard to pay people. Like, what the hell is the point of having a central bank if it's not being a central bank? This is actually kind of cool, and it's going to shake up the fintech industry. And I'm very glad that I don't work in the fintech industry right now, because they're probably not very happy. Or they're going to find a way to, like, keep people confused about how to actually use the FedNow service and so on and so forth. But we're going to see some changes here soon, very hopefully. Moving on. Russia has been shelling southern port cities in Ukraine after their deal to not bomb their grain exports has fallen through. Russia is saying that this is retribution for the destruction of a strategic bridge that they had. And I don't see it, because this retribution is going to negatively impact a bunch of countries that depend on those grain exports for food stability. So it's less retribution and more, we're gonna make a humanitarian crisis. Again, I don't think Putin cares, though, because Putin himself is a humanitarian crisis. On this day in 1969, humans walked on the moon for the first time. Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin hopped out of their little spacecraft and did a little bit of like this kind of move. And they were like, that's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. And we will spend the rest of our lives arguing about whether or not he was saying that's one small step for man or one small step for a man, the moon. Lightning round. It is official, the Dolphin emulator for GameCube and Wii games will not be coming to Steam. That doesn't mean you can't get it. It's been widely available on the internet for a long time. Marjorie Taylor Greene, who I try very hard to never have to actually talk about on this show, showed naked pictures of Hunter Biden in Congress as part of a hearing. The president of Stanford University is stepping down after controversies around papers that he authored that seem to have a lot of inaccuracies. Wildfires continue to rage around Athens, in addition to obviously Canada and several other places right now, but they're working on it. Thumbs up. Here's the weather. I will say, at time of recording, Trump has not been indicted again, but he is almost definitely going to be indicted again in like the next few days or weeks. The first generation iPhone has sold at auction for $190,000 US. Speaking of which, Apple is reportedly making a ChatGPT competitor, or their own sort of like GPT-like AI thing. This is just rumors. Game company Blizzard is going to start bringing some of their games to Steam, starting with Overwatch 2. You know, that game that everybody loves. After rolling out their ad-supported tier, Netflix has killed off their basic tier. You have to have the ad-supported tier if you want to not pay much money. And finally for today, Google is reportedly demoing to multiple news outlets an AI tool to write news articles, which totally won't go bad. There's no way this is a bad idea. That is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. It really helps. As a reminder, it's Friday, so I'm going to be live on my Twitch at 2 p.m. Eastern with Stuff Keeps Happening Plus working title. Unclear. But I'm going to be going over all this stuff in depth. I hope to see you there. I'm also going to be in a fighting game tournament this weekend. I know I haven't really talked about that much, but I'm going to be playing a game called Rivals of Ether. It's kind of like Smash Bros, but it's like pixel art. It's a good time. I'm going to be playing with some other TikTok creators. Check the link in the description for more information. But regardless, I will be back on Monday. Take care and be well.